How to Dress for a Marriage Feast, written and read by Brother Jerry Valenti. As the Jewish leaders begin to realize that Jesus is relating parables about them, he relates yet another one to them. In the first part of this parable, the king, representing God, plans a marriage feast for his son. He sends out his servants to tell the invited guests to come to the marriage feast, but these guests don't want to come. They prefer to do other things. Some of these invited guests even kill the servants who brought the invitation. The angry king then sends armies to kill these murderers and burn up their city. This first part of the parable is historical in nature and represents God sending his prophets, the servants, to invite the house of Israel, the invited guests, to enter Christ's kingdom, the marriage feast. However, Israel rejects the invitation, and they even kill the prophets. God then uses armies of Israel's enemies, Assyria and Babylon in earlier years, and Rome in later years, to kill many of the Israelites and burn up the city of Jerusalem. In the second part of the parable, the part which has application for us today, the invitation to the marriage feast is extended to anybody who will come. This corresponds to the gospel being made available to everybody, Gentiles and House of Israel. This results in many guests for the marriage feast. However, one man among the guests is not wearing proper clothes for the wedding, so the king has him thrown out into outer darkness. Why is the man who's not dressed properly not permitted to be part of the marriage feast? Is a tuxedo required to be part of the kingdom of God? Note the use of the term outer darkness for where the man winds up. Many Bible readers don't know what this term means, but we do, because it's described in Alma chapter 40 in the Book of Mormon. The spirits of all men, as soon as they are departed from this mortal body, are taken home to that God who gave them life, and then the spirits of the wicked shall be cast out into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and wailing and gnashing of teeth. Alma 40, 11 and 13. Based on this, we definitely want to make sure we are dressed properly when God examines us. And what type of garment should we be wearing that will be acceptable to God? Well, obviously it has nothing to do with clothing that we wear on our bodies. No, the clothing referenced in this parable is indicating that our garments have been made white by the blood of the Lamb when we were baptized, and that we are now clothed in righteousness as we live our lives for Christ. Any other garment is unacceptable to God. Here's a verse that summarizes this. I will greatly rejoice in the Lord. My soul shall be joyful in my God, for he hath clothed me with the garments of salvation. He hath covered me with the robe of righteousness, as a bridegroom decketh himself with ornaments, and as a bride adorneth herself with her jewels. Isaiah 61:10. As stated in the verse above, God himself has provided the garments we need to be part of his kingdom and look forward to the great marriage feast in heaven. There is no other garment that we can buy or make or obtain that will qualify. Seeing what happened to the man in the parable whose wedding garment was unacceptable should give us ample incentive to keep the garment that God has given us as spotless as possible. So, while it's true that many people don't really care to dress formally for events anymore, this is one event where you'll want to make sure you're dressed properly. Make sure you have received your garments of salvation and that you're living your life clothed in a robe of righteousness. If you do, you can look forward to being a welcome guest at the great marriage feast.